This is a video to show you how to do the data scrubbing, spreadsheet scrubbing for Let It Snow assignment and move it into your map. Mainly it's to get those spreadsheet skills. So here is the assignment this year, and we can go get our data here. I'm going to go click in and open the daily snowfall and snow depth data from NOAA, the National Centers for Environmental Information from NOAA. And notice I have it set up for whatever dates we're looking at. You can see that you can choose a state for snowfall data. For snow type, you can decide what you want to do. We're going to do just snowfall, and then I have it already set. So when I plot this, it gives me the Virginia data already, all plotted by depth. And notice if I keep coming down here, we have all of the weather stations that are recording snowfall and what county they are in. And then for each day of January, I can look at this and see all my January dates. So in this particular case, you may be doing something different in another year, but for this particular case, we had some snow this month on the 15th and 16th and on the 19th and 20th, and we see, oh, there's snow here, and there's snow on the 19th and 20th. So those are the dates we want. So we want to download the Virginia snowfall data, and the way we do that is right here. There's download data. I'm going to grab the Excel in a CSV. I'm just going to click, I'm going to left click that. It comes here. I open up my data, and here it is. Now, this is in Excel. Let's work in Google Sheets. That's what the directions in the assignment are in. So we're going to get this into Google Sheets. And mine might look differently. Usually for yours, you can go up to File and just save it as a Google Sheet. So I'll save it as a CSV. And I'm just going to get it into into Google Sheets. So another way to do that is I can always click up here. I left click up there, and I can Control C and copy it. Take it over to, if you can't just convert it right there, take it over to a Google Sheet and paste it right into. So let's do that. Here we go. I'm going to open up a Google Sheet, a blank spreadsheet. And if I click that upper right, I just Control V, and it'll paste all that data into Google Sheets. And now I can work within Google Sheets, and here it is. So Virginia. So we have location ID here, the weather station name, the county, the state, the elevation, latitude, and longitude. Now, whenever we're working in GIS, we have to have what was called our field names. This is the top of your attribute table, right across the top. So first off the bat, we've got to get rid of this first row. So I left click this row, the whole row. Now I don't want to just clear it and have it be a blank row. That won't work in GIS. I need to actually get rid of it. So I take two fingers, one on top of my trackpad, one below, and I click and I get this menu and I delete the row. And so now you see my field names have moved up into the first row. So there are several things we need to do, and these are laid out in words in your assignment document, but let me show you. We're going to keep columns A through G. We are going to actually get rid of columns, everything except January 15th, 16th, 19th, and 20th. So the way I do that is I grab my H and I left click so I can highlight the whole entire column. And I want to highlight, oh, it's grabbing. Here we go. So with my cursor, see how my cursor's on the H? Now I can highlight all of these columns down to here. All right, so I have all those columns. I'm going to, again, do my two fingers. One up, one down, two fingers at the same time. Oop, didn't work. I get my I want to clear, I want to delete the columns. Clearing it just means clearing it of any formulas or numbers. I want to actually fully delete those columns. So now I only have 15, 16. I am also going to delete. Okay. So I'm also going to delete here the 17th, 18th. Delete those columns, and I'm going to delete all of the rest of January here, okay, because I don't need those, and I'm going to delete those columns. Now, notice you ran out of columns. That's not a big deal. You're going to need a couple, but what you can do is if you highlight here, 2 fingers click, I can insert a column to the right, as many as I need. Insert a column to the right. All right, so we have the 15th, the 16th, the 19th, and the 20th. Now what we need to do to scrub this data is notice how it's not all numbers. We need to get rid of the M's, there's a T's, yeah, there's a T for trace, and so we need to get rid of those. So what I do is I want to highlight all these numbers. I click in this top box, and now this is a lot of data, so I don't want to have to be scrolling. I just click it, I hold my hand away, I go over to the bar, and I come all the way down, and I want to get all these numbers. So I hit Shift, left click, and that highlights all of that. Now, what I can do is I can do a very easy find and replace. You can always just go to Help, search the menu, and we want to do find and replace. Let's see if we can find. We want to find and replace. There we go, find and replace. So then I get this menu right here. I want to find all the M's and I replace it with nothing. I don't touch that. All right, I want to replace all. And it tells me it replaced 798 instances of M. Awesome. So I say done. Okay, leave this highlighted. I still have my T's in there. So let's go back to our find and replace. There it is. I want find and replace, and now I want to also replace my T's for trace, replace with nothing. I don't put anything in there. Replace all 74 instances of T. Done. All right, so now I've cleaned that up. Again, this is scrubbing your data, cleaning it all up. All right, so now I only have numbers in here. So now I can get my snow totals. And what I want to do is go over to this column, and I'm going to put snow totals. Because I don't want the each individual day. I just want the total. So I come over here, I left click to get into this cell, and it's going to tell me what's going on right here. I want to sum these. Now, there's a couple different ways I can do it. I'm going to do it with equals. And then notice how it says sum, but I only want from H to H, and I hold down Shift to get all those, and then I close that off, and that gives me the totals. Now, it has autofill, suggested autofill, that's fine. But also, 6.5, does that make sense? Yes, it does. We always want to check to make sure our formulas make sense. I look at it, make sure I got it right up here. Sum of H2 to all the way to K. Good. All right, I could also do H plus I plus J plus K2. So we could do that too. Now, I need to add up all of these columns. So what I do is I take that little blue dot down there, and notice how my cursor changes when I go over it to a black X, and I can pull this down and see how it totals everything. There we go. So now I can actually pull it all the way down and get my snow totals all the way down, and the spreadsheet will do all the work for me in terms of adding it up. All right, and so we just want to come down here to the bottom, our last row there, and there we have our totals. Now, the problem is, these are in formula. So if we move or if we delete anything that goes into this formula, this number will disappear. So what we really want to do is take this column, highlight it, and we want to paste it, but we only want the values. So I'm going to highlight that column again. The way I did that is I left click my cursor on the L, get the whole entire column. Control C for copy. Now I want to come over here to the M, I highlight the whole entire column there, and I'm going to go over to edit, and I'm going to do something called a paste special. So paste special. And notice how I could paste only the formula or only the format or all different kinds of things. I could transpose numbers, but I want just the values. That's really what I need. And notice the difference now. These columns look exactly the same, except in this column, there's a formula, and in this column, there's only a number. So now I am able to keep only the snow totals. That's what I was going for the entire time. I'm going to now highlight all of these. Don't do this until you're sure you got it right. And now I'm going to 2 fingers again, and I'm going to delete those columns. And so now I've cleaned up everything. I have all of my information, and I have the snow totals for those 4 days a couple weeks ago when we missed a couple days of school. So now I've done Virginia. All right, so I'm going to actually name this. Oh, I'm going to go back to my, I want to go back. What happened? So I went back. I'm going to go find this again. Looks like it disappeared for some reason. Find this. All right, here's my spreadsheet that I just made. So I'm going to title it, Let It Snow 2024. There we go, with my initials. Okay, so now notice I have my Google spreadsheet. I can left click down here. Oh, it's not letting me. All right, I can come down here to the plus and add. Let me just move this over a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Now, so I'm going to say these are Virginia snow. Jan 15th to the 20th. Okay, I label that. Now I'm going to come over here. This is going to be my West Virginia snow totals. Excuse me. All right, and I can do another one, Maryland snow totals. What I want you to do is take everything we just did for Virginia and do it for, go get your West Virginia data and go get your Maryland data and do the same thing. Once you're done, you can add them all together, put them all at the bottom of Virginia, and the last thing you need to do is highlight everything. So let's say they're all together here, right? Now we're going to highlight the whole entire thing. I'm going to do it for just Virginia, but you can do it with everything in here at the same time. Once you've done the West Virginia and the Maryland. And now I want to sort this. So I go to data. I'm going to sort the sheet, okay? But I want to sort it by column H. Oh, and I did it that way. So I want to do it again. I'm going to go to data. I'm going to do advanced sorting range because I want to sort this I want to sort it by column H. Z is fine. All right. And notice when we do that, we have the highest numbers down below, the lowest numbers up above. And what I can do is delete now all of the rows. Now it'll mix up the states because you have all the states in here. I want to delete everything that's a 0. So I'm just gonna come down here on every row that has a 0 for a snow total. We're just gonna delete all that. Too many points we just don't need as we put it into our map. Ooh, it's a lot of, oh, there we go. All right, so now we come down. It's hard to get it just right. Okay, there we go. And now 2 fingers. Oh, that did not work. All right, we're gonna try again.